Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, but today it's a special video because my boy Jay finally got one of his dream cars, this R35 GTR. So today we'll be interviewing the life of a GTR owner. So he's pretty new to it, but he'll tell us a little bit more about it. So Jay, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you. Hey everyone, my name is Jacob. This is my GTR, my R35. I came from, my first vehicle ever was a Nissan Altima. I didn't do anything like ride start or anything like that. I just had subs in it. And then I went to I had a Lexus GS 300 actually. I miss that car to this day. And then I had my 350Z. I had a DE 350Z. Well, rev up, not DE, but.
So like 06?
Yeah, it was an 06. I blew the motor on that too. I had a rod knock.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then after that, I got a G37, and that's how we met when I had the G37. I had the G37 for 6 years and a half. And I did a lot of things to that car. Do I miss that car? Yes and no, because it was kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've seen all the stuff I dealt with. Fast forward to this, and I picked this up last weekend. I've been trying to get one since, well, you know, I've always talked about it a long time.
We're going to go ahead and start off first with what people on Instagram had to ask first, and then I'll go ahead and ask more follow-up questions. So one of the first few questions I'll ask you is, what made you get a GTR?
This was like, when I can't remember when. Like I watched when I was watching Fast and Furious, and I was a kid. I was like, oh man, that car's sick. I want one. You know, it was when they first came out too at that time. And then we went to a car show here in Scottsdale. It's kind of like pavilions that we have out here. For those of you that live in Arizona, know what I'm talking about. But they would do it like once a month. It was out in like North Scottsdale. I saw one in the first time. It was a red 2009 GTR, and I sat in it. I actually have a picture. I'll send you the picture so you can see. That was one of the first time I was like, the dude was like, hey, you can go ahead and sit in it and check it out if you like. And that was the first time I ever wanted one. I didn't drive one at that point until I started working at Nissan like years later. And I was like, okay, I barely moved the car. And I was like, you know what? I want one of these one day. But I don't know. That's just what drew my attention to it from that day forward.
It definitely breaks a lot of necks out there. Like just being stock, it's just dude, it gets anyone's attention. Yeah. Whether you know what it is or not, like there's no way you can just deny how beautiful this car is. What made you not quit to achieve to get this dream car?
I guess people, you know, that I guess I considered as friends at one point. I told them, you know, even family too, man. Yeah. I told them what I wanted, and they were like, "Oh, you can't do it. You know, you can't afford it. You know, you shouldn't do it. It's too much for you." I was like, you know what? Like, that's what made me even work harder to get it, because the sky's the limit, dude. You can do whatever you want as long as you put the time and effort. Like you see me work those long hour days and stuff like that. Like the more you work and the more you're like, oh, you know what? I can push myself to do more. You can achieve whatever you want. Yeah,
and I'm sure it was very hard because I mean, going from having fun with the G37, of course, you knew that it was gonna be worth getting this, but I mean, it was a journey, right? How long was it?
I was carless for about 9 months, I want to say.
Yeah, so seeing like all the content that people were just uploading, and then just like everybody having fun with their cars, you're just like, damn, like I wish I had my G37, right?
Right, and then like it's cool because, you know, Manny would let me drive his 370Z here and there. Like he would take me for a ride with him, you know. And then AZ would let me drive her Evo too. She would, you know, that was like, you know, my girlfriend's car. She was like, hey, you can take the car if you want, but still, like, even though with that, you know, aspect, hey, you could take my car, it wasn't like, oh, it's not my car. I can't enjoy it like how it was mine.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. So I mean, even when I drive like a buddy's car or something, like it is fun, but like
it's not yours, you know.
Yeah, it's not mine. If I get you on that one.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider getting another G37? Like after you have this now that you have the GTR, would you consider getting another G37 in the future?
If I have to go back, I probably would do a 350Z Nismo or 370Z Nismo. Ooh. Nothing against the G37. Like, it was cool. I had my time with it. Yeah. But Now, if I was to go back in time, I would probably have gotten an IPL that's manual.
Yeah.
Or pull the trigger, because I almost pulled the trigger on a Nismo too back then. I was actually looking at one. Oh, I would have done that route.
Yeah, it wouldn't really make sense. I mean, it's a car that you already did all your fun with it, right? So it's kind of like if you were to restart the game, you're like, oh, I already experienced this. Like, you're not gonna really get the same joy that you did the first time around. So somebody asked, are you gonna hotboy the GTR?
Man, I don't know. So the fact that it's already like bolt-on tune on Flex Fuel right now kind of helps me a lot, because it is kind of expensive to make it fast. So that kind of like pushes aside that for me. But before I do any of that, I need to do some more maintenance. Like, I need to replace my rotors. I need to replace one of my front shocks. And then after that, I was telling you, I'll get a bigger intercooler, charge pipes, and then retune it to, hopefully we're going to try to aim for closer to 700. It's at 610 right now. And then from there, I can work on getting, wheels. I would like to probably drop it an inch, maybe less, and get some 18s, some TEs. Maybe I'll get some Nismo V1s. Who knows? I kind of want to bring back that look with the G. Like I was thinking, do the yellow calipers again and do some V1s. It would be sick. I
mean, that's kind of like what I got from yesterday. That's why I asked you, like, did you pick out the black color? Because, it reminded you of the G37. That's kind of like how I see it. It's like the grown-up version of that G37.
Yeah.
So, really, I guess my question would be, are you considering doing any like heavy like aesthetic modifications? Like the G37, you didn't really touch up on it. You made it look clean and simple. Are you going that same route with the GTR?
Eventually. I think I would do wheels, drop, tint. I was thinking of doing a carbon fiber trunk. I don't know yet, but definitely fenders. I was thinking of getting carbon fiber fenders.
Okay.
The Nismo fenders they make for these from the GTR, they're pretty dope. I want my hands on those. The hood, I don't know. I like the hood. I really like the hood. Maybe I'll just get the vents in carbon.
Yeah, I like that look with just the carbon vents. Yeah, so I mean, definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, I like the simplicity of it. Like you really don't have to do much to make it look better than it already is. So that's the one thing that like I liked about your G37, how simple it looked. Like they didn't go anything crazy. Like people put like fucking big ass wings or just wide bodies and stuff like that. Yeah, it just. You overdo it at that point, but I like how simple it was. Like each their own. Everyone has their own taste, but to me, I just really like the simplicity of the cars, how they were made. I don't really like going all crazy on them.
And that's what it is. Like some people, everyone's taste is different. Some people like to go overboard, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Everyone has their own opinion and what they want to do. But like Hector said, I like it to be simple and clean. Like even with what I did, I was like, am I doing too much? There are certain things I was like, all right, I'm just going to push that aside. I don't have to worry about doing it.
But, I mean, the key point here is, though, that maintenance is definitely key. If you want this thing running, you got to dump all your money on that maintenance. That's like the one thing, right? I mean, that's kind of like the one thing that scares me out of ever getting a GTR is that maintenance is going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah. Especially like if you're looking at getting like, so it has carbon ceramic rotors. Like I was looking at doing that. It's like $2,000 a rotor, I think. They're pretty pricey, but I was just gonna get 2-piece rotors from Z1, slotted rotors. They're good, The carbon ceramic are good too, but it's just a little pricey.
Are you planning to modify it to be on the track or a show car?
Street car, yeah. Because tracking it, I'm not against it at all. Neither show car. Hey, it's badass too, but I think for me, I want to do a street car.
So a little bit of both, huh?
Yeah, maybe take it to the track. Yeah, maybe take it to the track here and there, but have it to where it's like at least clean enough for shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, like looks good. Like it looks fast, but it looks good. Like a street car, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So how would you compare the car scene here compared to California? And then I'll tell you how I feel about it.
You guys definitely, like I said, you guys are obviously a bigger state. So, there's badass cars here. Don't get me wrong. There's really sick cars everywhere, especially when you're driving out in North Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, whatever. Like even city, like in Mesa and Gilbert. But it's like with California, it's just like you see some more rare shit, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like I've seen rare cars here too, a lot. But in California, it's just like you'll see an older JDM car or just something like you've never seen. Like, what the heck is that, you know?
Yeah.
And I get that here too, but it's not as often. The scene is okay out here. I feel like, you know, each scene has its flaws. Some people are like too cocky. Some people are cool. Some people just think they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's my opinion. For me, like from what I've seen so far is like, well, since like, you know, the emissions laws aren't as strict as in Cali, everyone's like not afraid to be stepping on the pedal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like here they're more focused on just having fun compared to like trying to outshow everyone in Cali, because over there it's pretty tough to try to stand out over there.
That's what I was gonna get to as well. It's just like we don't have that stress over here like you guys do. You know, like you guys have to. I hate that for you guys, man. Like you can't even enjoy your car. Like look at Fresh Kicks. Like he had to deal with, you know, getting state repped, you know, and some other. Right. I think some other ones too. Like some other influencers, if I'm not wrong, that got state repped. It's just stupid, you know.
Yeah. So it's like you didn't really get to enjoy the car that you're building. So, I mean, even for me, like, I mean, I'm not pushing anything like that, but just it's the annoyance of just like cop will see it and they'll just assume the worst of it, and then boom, there you go, you just flag down, stay repped, and then you pretty much don't even enjoy your car anymore at that point.
Like for example, like the second time I went to go see you guys out in Cali, I got harassed like twice in one night. Yeah. And then the next day too, I was like, dude, like at first, I was taking pictures at some spot, and the security was like, "Oh, you're fine." And then a cop pulled up, and he was trying to say that my plates were not real, the other ones not these. I was like, "Dude, like, I'm from Arizona. Like, my license shows that, you know, I reside in Arizona. So what's fake about it to you?" And then he let me go, but then he state reffed he almost state reffed Kendrick and Steven.
Oh shit!
But he pulled over someone else for his lights. I'm not gonna say their name. You know why? But then, like a minute later, after that cop pulled me over, I got pulled over again. I was like, dude, I literally just got pulled over. And then he's like, well, you know, I don't like your exhaust. I was like, well, I'm just here to visit. He's like, well, if you're gonna be here, you shouldn't drive your car. I was like, so why did I drive my car 6 hours for no reason? Like I came here to come to shows, you know?
Yeah, it's very annoying. It's just the thing that's killing the car scene over there in California is just takeovers. I don't know how it is over here.
Fuck takeovers. And I don't care if you get mad at that. Fuck takeovers. I'm sorry. If you go to takeovers, you're not a real car person at all. You're just a dumbass.
Yeah.
And you can leave that in there. They can watch it.
No, I mean, 100%. I agree on that. Because, like, dude, you can't even, like, go around the block without, like, a cop assuming the worst out of you.
Exactly. And, like, it doesn't, you know, like, not a lot of people understand, like, how much that affects us, you know, car enthusiasts. Because, you know, we enjoy our cars, we take time and pride, and for someone to go to takeover because they can fucking go in circles and it ruins it for the rest of us. Now we all look like douchebags, or you know what I mean? But yeah.
So let's circle back with the previous cars you had. So tell me a little bit more about the 350Z.
That was my first VQ ever.
Okay, well, first of all, was it auto or manual?
It was manual.
Oh,
of course it was manual.
Okay.
Yeah. All my VQs have been manual except for this, obviously. This is you know, I guess all my Nissans, you could say. Yeah. But this is automatic, and it acts, and it's a DCT, so it kind of behaves like a manual. You know what I mean? You got to drive it and see what it's like, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, my 350Z was a manual. I had it for about a year, but I bought it from a dealership, and I guess then, like the next week, I was at Walmart, and the previous owner, you know, like he's like, "Hey, this is my old car." I was like, "How do you know? How do I know it's you?" Yeah. He's like, "Pop the, you know, like how does yours have that central like console?" Yeah. He's like, and there was like a little I don't know, like a little module or whatever. Yeah. He's like, that was my like PSI reader for the supercharger, and I was like, what the heck? Yeah. So he knew it was his old car. But yeah, that one was a 6-speed manual rev up DE. I didn't do much to that car. I just did a muffler delete. And at that time, it sounded good though. It didn't sound like shit. I kept the resonators on. I just did a muffler delete and intakes, and it sounded pretty good for that, you know, things that I'd done to it.
No, I hear on that one, because that's when I bought my 350Z. It was the same thing, muffler delete, and then I had an intake, so it was cool on its own. Yeah, but damn. So, what made it get a rod knock?
It was my first time to like VQs. Yeah. I was new to it. Yeah. I didn't realize that they burn oil so quick. Oh,
so you learned the hard way?
Yeah, I learned the hard way. Remember one time I was just like driving it hard, and the car just turned off, and then it turned back on. I was like, I heard a slight knock, and I was like, okay, I don't know. I think maybe something's rattling, whatever. So I went home. Then the next morning, I was on my way to a job interview, I think. Yeah, I know.
They're about to ask you, do you have a reliable transportation?
Yeah, I got a reliable transportation, and then just, coolant leaked everywhere, and then I had my buddy come over and check it out late that night. He's like, dude, your engine is fucked. He's like, you need a new engine. It was just knocking really bad.
Yeah.
Then I ended up fixing it. And then I got into an accident, and then I sold it. And then I got the G37. And then the G37, that was a 6-speed manual too. I bought it stock as fuck. It was one owner.
And since you had it for 6 years, tell me the ups and downs you had with it.
Well, the first up was like a month in the ownership. It was obviously those of you that have the VQ know about how if you're manual, you know how this our slave cylinders and master cylinders always go out. So that was my issue. Was I would push the pedal to put it in gear, like the clutch, and it would get stuck. And that was I was like, okay. I was like, I don't know if this is good or bad, but whatever. Till one night it left me stranded. I was on my way home.
Oh shit.
And yeah, it left me stranded. I had to push it by myself into like a plaza. And I pushed it there. That was my first hiccup with the car.
Yeah.
And from there it was fine. The car was running solid. And then I did a muffler delete on that car too, and that sounded good. I didn't focus till like performance till like years later.
Yeah.
I bought springs first, and then I had some like hideous purple wheels on it, which I regret looking. And then I sold the wheels. I went back to stocks. I bought ESRs, reps. Those were my first. Those were my second pair of wheels too, because the purple ones were also Rex. They were like XIX wheels. They were also rep wheels. And then I sold those. Went back to stock wheels, and that's when I bought the LXZs.
Oh, yeah. That's when you started being a hot boy.
That's when the hot boy came up. And then my boy bought me a lit for my birthday for the car.
Oh shit, okay.
So I slapped that on. It was at that time it was just like everything was OEM, but it looked so sick because it was like lowered and everything.
Yeah.
I had teen coilovers too. The fucking it was so bad, dude. Like I remember one time I compressed them and it just got stuck.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, they were trash. They were trash. And then I ended up buying. What coilovers did I buy? I bought some. Yeah, some of you might laugh at this, but some Rev 9 coilovers. That's how I was static on my V1s. I bought some Rev 9 coilovers, but they were solid. Those coilovers were actually good. Yeah, that's when the hot boy came. And then I got the hood. I got the trunk. I wrapped the car.
You wrapped it?
I wrapped it. Yeah, I wrapped it. KPMF gloss black red iridescent. That was the color.
Oh, what the hell?
It's the same color as Kendrick's G37.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't even know you wrapped it.
Yeah, I wrapped
it. That's right, you did. Mm-hmm. Now I remember it. Damn.
Yeah, it was wrapped for like 2 years and a half, I think.
Yeah, that's when I first saw your G. Mm-hmm. Damn, I forgot you had that color. Oh shit.
2 years and a half I had it. And then when I peeled it off, it kind of ate my paint away.
Yeah, and then that's when you like retouched it, huh?
Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I hit up my buddy, and he's a detailer, so he paint corrected it, brought the paint back to life, and it was a little bit better. And then it made me fall in love with the color again, because when I first got it, I was like, this color's kind of trash. It was a different paint color from this, but like this, obviously, when you see in the sun, it's really flaky. It was just like, it was not as flaky as this. It was a KH3, I don't know what for the G37s it is, the black code.
Well, the good thing through all that history, you learn to not to cheap out. So
never cheap out anything. Yep. Suspension, not everything, never cheap out. Yeah.
That's what I always tell everyone. I'm like, if there's something you really want on your car, just wait till you can afford it. Don't cheap out. Cheap out on trying to get that. Like for me, when I wanted my bags on my Z, when I first got the Z, I had some coilovers. I think they were like, I don't know, there was some cheap ass eBay ones. And then like, I really wanted to change them to BC coilovers. Then I was like, damn, it's $1,000. I'm like, I guess I'll save up. But then like over the time, I started learning more about modifications, suspension. And then I saw that there was air suspension. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna tough it out until I can get bags. And that's pretty much what I did. Let's say how different do you think everything would have played out if the Z never took a shit on you?
I don't know, because I had a lot of fun in that car.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun in that car. I feel like eventually it would have like kind of like got to me because you know how those engines like they're not the best, but you have to like work on making them strong. Yeah.
And then what made you go from a Z to a G? Why not get another?
I think it was the interior, bro.
Oh, the interior. You're like, oh, this feels more luxurious. Doesn't feel like Nissan.
But then again, at that point, I was like looking at getting a 350Z Nismo.
Oh shit.
But my dad was kind of helping me shop for one, and he didn't want me to get it. So yeah, he was like not approving of it. I was like, all right, whatever. I guess I'll just. And like I said, that's also when I found the 370Z Nismo. It was silver, and I fell in love with it. And I was like, dude, I want it. But I never ended up getting it. Yeah.
Damn, that would have been hella different.
Yeah, it would have. And you know, you would have not seen me in a G37. But even then, if I had that, I probably would have had it boosted by now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking right now. Like, yeah, you probably would have boosted that for sure. Manny would have inspired you to.
Yeah. At the end of the day, all that just led to this. Because I knew eventually I was going to get one. I just didn't know when. And it's kind of hard right now with how expensive everything is. So I was like, you know, for those of you that know, I mean, he knows, Hector knows, like, I was working long hour days just so I can pay off everything that I owed money on. Obviously, except the house. That's like, you know, we're talking years. Yeah,
so congrats again on the house and on the G. So
thank you.
Yeah, hard work pays off. This guy's been working hard, and I'm sure mentally you've been like just, you know, stressed and depressed because, you know, you want to have your stuff right away, but definitely does take time. So all it takes is patience. There you go.
Patience, yeah. And like Hector was saying too, with the suspension, don't cheap out because you buy nice, you don't got to buy twice.
Yep, exactly.
So.
All right, you guys, so we had to take a little break. Our boys showed up, so went ahead and hung out with them, and yeah, we had one time with the G. It was very interesting spending the whole day having 4 people in the back. Jay got to fucking experience that as well.
Not enough leg room.
Yeah, and how tall are you?
I'm about 5'12".
Yeah, so unless you're maybe, what, like...
5'9", 5'8", you can fit good in there.
Nah, not even.
I don't know, well, yeah.
I'd say like maybe like 5'2" and below.
Yeah. Short kings, you're going to win.
Yeah, for real. So realistically, if you're taking somebody around the block, it's all right. But for a long trip, there's no way. No possible way.
Yeah, and if you got more than, you know, you plus a passenger, if you got 2 behind you, if you have, let's just say 3, at least have one sit on the right side. But if one's sitting behind you and you're tall, like you don't have him. Like me being 5'12", I was in the back like this, kind of. Because if I would have stood up straight like that, then my head was like hitting the roof.
Yeah, so Steven and I got behind the wheel. We got Steven behind the wheel. Fucking.
Spotted off Chase Beds. Spotted off Chase Beds.
My fucking kneecaps are in his hands right now. God damn.
Do it a second though. Right here? Yeah.
That thing's unreal. I haven't driven a fast-ass car like that. The closest thing I got to driving as fast like that was a Mark V. That was pretty fun, but this thing was... Like, the way it just shifts, it's insane. A lot of people try to give it shit because it's only automatic, but, like, dude.
It behaves like a manual.
Yeah,
you know?
It really does. And it just, man, I'm still, like, freaking shaking just thinking about how, like, it felt. That experience was unreal. So thanks for that, Jay.
Of course, man, of course.
You popped my cherry in the GTR.
I was just going to say that, but you beat me to it. There you go.
Okay, so another thing that I got to experience yesterday was the Arizona car scene at night. It wasn't too bad. It was pretty peaceful compared to California. I feel like it starts off well for like maybe the first 30 minutes. After that, people start acting up. They start freaking revving like crazy, trying to fucking do the 2 steps, all that type of crap, and they just ruin it. And then really, night meets don't really last there because the cops will show up right away and then kick us out because they don't want to deal with it because more likely than not, like 80% of the time, it turns into just hot boy shit. Like, you know, they start doing takeovers and all that crap. So right here, it was really peaceful. It was very organized and everyone was respectful. And then there was a lot of builds that were nice there. And that's something that we can't get over there in California. It's all just cars and coffee. That's as best as it gets because nobody's trying to risk their baby out there, you know, getting hit or just, you know, getting broken into or just, you know, getting impounded.
Yeah, it's, you know, we're kind of like starting to see that a little bit, not too often, but a little more out here where they'll host like those private takeovers. But like, don't do that over here. We don't want, leave that shit somewhere else, you know. And even same thing with Cali. Like, don't like do that more often. But it's like, oh, if you go to a car, I mean, you just park your car, you're boring. Like, walk around, you know. If you're bored, go to the track. That's the reason why the track is there. Or go roll racing at night or some shit. You know what I mean? But blocking intersections and get back or get smacked, that's just stupid to me.
So go ahead and tell us some of the modifications that you've done to the, well, that came with the GTR so far.
So it's on stock suspension as far as looks, you know, suspension-wise, but it has the carbon fiber front split. I forgot the name of it. I don't remember the top of my head. Carbon fiber front lip, side skirts on both sides, and it has a rear diffuser, like kind of like an overlay. Overlay, yeah. Overlay, you could say. That's as far as the exterior. It also has it's a 2013, but it has a 2015 taillights. So for those of you that know GTRs, you know, like the 2014 and below, they have like that, you know, dotted ring, just like the G37s, for example. They're all dotted, so it's like that. But Nissan 2015 up for these made it just a singular, you know, like not singular, what the heck, a solid halo ring.
Yeah.
So that's another mod that it has on the exterior. Other than that, as far as engine-wise, it's got AMS intakes, downpipes, Armitrix, Valvetronic exhaust. It's 4-inch all the way around. It's got 1300cc injectors, tuned on 91 and E85, and it also has a speed density kit as well. That's as far as what it has, as I know, as far as engine mods. You want to ask us anything, Abel?
How's it feel having GTR now?
It doesn't feel real. It feels like we're still in the dream.
Okay.
Doesn't feel real. Feeling, bro. You know, you guys knew how long I've been talking about. I'm sure I've been annoying the hell out of you talking about how much I wanted one. But it's definitely an accomplishment feeling. You know, it's awesome. Words can't describe how fun it is. You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah.
Obviously the goal was the house, and like I said earlier, now it's this. So it feels great, man. Hard work pays off.
If you guys do want to follow him, I'll put his Instagram, and then he also has a YouTube channel, so go ahead and follow that. Follow that good stuff if you want to keep watching his build. I'm definitely excited for that. So aside from that, thanks, man. And once again, congratulations.
Thanks, bro.
And thanks for showing me around Arizona.
Of course, of
Aside
course.
from that, guys.
Like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever you want to do. Peace.
See you guys in the next video. Wait, Jay, one last question I forgot to ask. They want to know, and you already know who. Are you packing?